Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you're having a fantastic day. In today's video, I want to share both a first sniff impression as well as an initial post-burn review of a couple of new launches that are going to be happening over at Kringle Candle on May 22nd. Both of these fragrances are meant to basically kick off the start of summer. I can't believe this, but Memorial Day is indeed just right around the corner. So these are two fantastic fragrances that I think are going to be a great way to kick off the summer burning season. So the two scents are Bottle Rocket. I think we all remember these from the old ice cream truck, as well as Cherry Pie, which could there be a better combination of scents specifically for the 4th of July, right? So today we're gonna go ahead and sniff through both of these candles and discuss my cold sniff impressions and what I have started doing with my recent first sniff impressions video is I have also been subsequently lighting the candles up for an initial burn and then just doing a quick kind of one-off review in terms of how the fragrance changes once you actually take a flame to it, because sometimes that can be very different from the cold sniff impressions. And I can also give you guys an initial strength and throw. Now, I am someone who personally believes in burning candles a little bit longer before doing like an official review, if you will. I just like to make sure that I get at least a third of the way or halfway through a candle, because there are some burn issues that can potentially come up. Maybe the candle starts sooting, maybe the wicks just die. Sometimes that happens. There's a number of things that can obviously go wrong when you're burning a candle. So I will be providing you with some more in-depth post-burn reviews after, like I said, I dig into these a little further. But at least with this initial post-burn review, you have a rough sense of what to expect. And that way, if I don't get to the in-depth review prior to the launch on May 22nd, which I think I might be able to do a formal review prior to that, you at least have a sense of, you know, like I said, what you can expect. So that's what we're gonna do in today's video. So I have not actually stuck my nose into either of these candles. I did receive them as PR, just so you guys are completely aware. Kringle was kind enough to send these in advance of the launch so that I could share my thoughts with you. I will have them linked at the top of the description box. So, well, I will have Kringle Candle linked at the top of the description box. If you don't have any rewards that you can apply to this new launch, you can definitely use my discount code Melanie15 and that'll save you 15% off of your purchase over at Kringle Candles. So when the time comes, like I said, feel free to use that. But let's go ahead and let's dig in. I think I'm gonna go ahead and actually start with the Bottle Rocket here. So let's take the lid off of this one and let's start smelling it. Okay, love the label on this one. Definitely very nostalgic. I'm sure most of us have eaten this particular ice cream bar in our youth. I definitely have enjoyed a Bottle Rocket here and there in my past. Although I was a bigger fan of the Good Humor Strawberry Shortcake ice cream bars. Let me know what your favorite ice cream bar was from the ice cream truck when you were a kid. But let me go ahead and read through the notes here. The notes are cherry, fruit, citrus, orange, raspberry, and sugar. Honestly, this sounds absolutely delightful just based off of the fragrance notes. Sounds like it's gonna be a great fruity melange, and I'm expecting to enjoy this one. So let's see if I do. Ooh, a lot of cherry. There is a lot of cherry here. Now, here's the thing. It's definitely a more candied artificial cherry, but it's not medicinal cherry. I have a big beef with cherry if it comes across as medicinal in any kind of way. And by medicinal, I mean if it presents itself as like that cherry cough drop or cherry cough syrup type of cherry note, that is a hard pass for me. Don't love that. This is more along the lines of, it smells like a Merlot cherry version of a Jolly Rancher. Like if you were to have like a Merlot cherry type of candied scent, that is the first thing that hits me here. I do smell a good amount of kind of a mix of citrus notes, definitely some orange, but I also smell some lemon in here. And I feel like there's also a strawberry. It's not listed. It actually has raspberry listed here, but I feel like it's more strawberry to my nose than it is raspberry. Is this very intensely sweet? Yes. If you do not like sweet scents, skip this one altogether. I can definitely see this being cloying to a certain crew out there. So if you typically don't like sweet scents, I probably wouldn't risk it with this one. It's very, very sweet on cold sniff. And I personally almost expect that to intensify when I light this one up. Yeah, so sweet, but also really juicy. Honestly, it's kind of making my mouth water. It's very potent on cold sniff. Like my cold sniff impression of this is that it's gonna give me a solid strength and throw. I would be really surprised if this one underperforms, but obviously I'll let you guys know. But on cold sniff, I would expect this to be at least a 7 in terms of strength and throw, potentially even a little bit stronger, maybe if I pop it into one of my hurricanes. But this is a great summertime scent. I like this. I also think that the label is just perfect for, you know, the kickoff of summer here. Let's take a closer look. So there we go. By the way, I don't think that I said the date that these guys were launching, but the time is, I think, noon. I believe it's noon. Hold on, let me get back to the group here. Yes, May 22nd at noon Eastern Standard Time. So, all right, let's go ahead and light this one up, and then I will see you in the next clip for just that initial post-burn review. And like I said, we're gonna dig much further into these before I give you guys my final thoughts, and I will try really hard to have those up either on the 21st or at the very latest on the 22nd. I don't know if these are gonna sell out, but I will say I do think these are gonna be 2 very popular scents, so do with that information what you will. But let's go ahead and dig into this first post-burn review, and then we'll tackle the cherry pie next. Bottle Rocket has now been lit for just about 3 hours. It's been about 2 hours and 50 minutes. So I think that I've reached the full wax pool at this point. So what I'm gonna do is compare my cold sniff impression to how this transformed once the flame actually hit the wax. We'll go ahead and discuss the initial strength and throw, and then I'll give you guys an overhead shot of the candles so that you can see how the wicks are doing initially. And again, remember, I am going to do a official post-burn review here, but I won't be doing that until I reach at least the halfway point of this candle. So this is just some initial thoughts for you. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly reference the fragrance notes again. So we have fruit, citrus, orange, cherry, raspberry, and sugar. And I gotta say, this smells pretty much exactly during the burn as it did with my first sniff impressions. This fragrance really did not transform. It is still basically just it smells like the bottle rockets, you guys. I cannot think of a better description for this particular scent than it's smelling exactly like these little icy bars that you can get off of your local ice cream truck. It's very fruity. It's very sweet. There is definitely a strong cherry note here. The orange is very present. The raspberry kind of is coming across as like a strawberry or a raspberry once it's actually lit. But yeah, it's for the most part, I mean, I cannot think of a better description to give you than to just think of the little, like I said, the little icy pops here that you can get off of literally any ice cream truck in the country right now. So it's delicious. It's authentic. I think this is a great scent. It's one that I think my kid is really going to enjoy. She's actually not here right now, but I anticipate that when she sees this label and she smells this, it is going to be pretty nostalgic for her, because a lot of times when the ice cream truck would come through our neighborhood when Stella was younger, this is the ice cream that she selected for herself. So yeah, it's a very authentic fragrance. Not much to say other than that. The strength and throw is solid. This is what I'm used to with these Kringle 2-wick jars here. The strength is coming across right now at kind of between, I would say, a 7 and an 8. But I'm gonna guess the further down I get in this fragrance, it's gonna kind of average at more of a 7. That's a lot of time what tends to happen. In terms of the throw, I can actually smell this in the family room, which is a little ways away from here. I have the cherry pie in the family room right now, and I can smell this bottle rocket right alongside that cherry pie in the family room. And honestly, likewise, I feel like the cherry pie is traveling in here to the dining room. So if you are getting both of these candles, you should definitely burn them together, because they're a great little combination. But individually, I think these scents are performing pretty solidly on their own. So I'm gonna give the strength, I'll average it out at about a 7 for now. Slightly higher at the beginning, but again, I expect that to level out. The throw, I would put somewhere between a 7 and an 8 as well, because I can smell it in the family room. It's definitely a traveler, so it's getting some good movement throughout the house here. Let's go ahead and take an overhead shot of the wicks. What I will say is, yeah, we're getting some big mushroom tops here. So we're gonna be trimming these wicks during all of these subsequent burns. I'm gonna go ahead and let this candle go probably for about another hour or 2. I think that will be plenty for this initial burn here, and then I'm gonna keep rocking this one for the remainder of the weekend here. So yeah, really good experience with this one. No complaints so far. And I am loving the authenticity. I think it's a great scent. If you're interested, initially, it's doing really well. Let's chat about the cherry pie. Really excited about this one. Definitely curious about how the cherry note is going to be presented in this one, especially since we had a healthy dose of cherry in this first candle here. But I'm also really hopeful that there is an actual crust note here. I have wanted an entire pie collection from a candle company for a long time. And if this is a really good take on cherry pie, this might be a great starting place for Kringle to create an entire pie lineup. I'm talking blueberry pie, strawberry rhubarb pie, strawberry pie, banana cream pie, coconut pie, key lime pie, Marionberry pie. I feel like I'm starting to sound like Forrest Gump, but I tell you what, I would buy every single one. I love pie. I think I love pie actually more than I love cake, and I do love me some cake. So anyway, I have some high expectations here, and if this one performs well, you gotta help me out here, guys. We have to lobby Kringle together. It can't just be me doing it. We have to all push them into the gourmand world. I know a lot of us are trying, but we have to try harder. And I think they're maybe starting to come around to it because we've got a gourmand here. So let's see what it smells like. The notes are cherry, pastry. It's a good sign that we have pastry as the second note here. Fruit, citrus, buttery, and vanilla. Perfect. I mean, I don't know that I need other fruit or citrus here necessarily, but I definitely need the cherry. I need the pastry. I need that buttery. Oh, I love a buttery crust, and I love vanilla. So like a nice maybe dollop of whipped cream. Anyway, let's take a sniff. Ooh. Okay. Warm, buttery, flaky pie crust. I'm telling you, there's a flaky pie crust here. And a totally different cherry from the cherry that is in this Bottle Rocket fragrance here. This cherry smells much more like an authentic, like cherry pie filling, maybe more along the lines of like Rainier cherries or Bing cherries, but just your more traditional, classic, fruity, more realistic cherry scent. Really nice cherry. I don't smell any other fruit notes in here, and I really don't get any citrus on cold sniff. Now, like I said, I don't need citrus to be present here at all. What I needed was the cherry, the buttery, the vanilla, and the pastry, and I'm getting all of those things on cold sniff here. This is pretty delightful, you guys. Almost exactly probably what I was picturing or what I was hoping this would be is what it is. Now, in terms of the initial kind of strength that I'm getting on cold sniff, I feel like it's a little less potent than the Bottle Rocket, but hopefully it gives me the solid 7 that I am hoping and usually what I get from Kringle in terms of strength and throw, at least when it comes to this 2-wick size. But if this is a good one, this would be a great starting place, like I said, for that pie line, because this is definitely, this is cherry pie. That is what this is on cold sniff. So let's go ahead and light it up, and then let's see what she gives us initially. And then, like I said, we will dig in a little bit further, and you'll see the more in-depth post-burn review coming up here shortly. But let's go ahead and dig in. Cherry pie has also been lit for just about 3 hours at this point, and you guys, I love this candle. They nailed the crust note. They absolutely nailed a super authentic cherry pie fragrance. You smell the filling, you smell the crust, and it is insanely authentic. I would like to give a raise. It's not my money. It's not my company. I have no business giving anyone a raise at Kringle, but I tell you what, if I were in charge over there, whichever perfumer came up with this specific fragrance, you deserve the biggest, fattest raise for cherry pie. This is absolutely an authentic cherry pie fragrance. So let me read through the notes one more time. I don't feel like I need to, because all I need to say is that it smells like you are sticking your nose into a cherry pie, but the notes are cherry, pastry, fruit, citrus, buttery, and vanilla. Let's just ignore the fruit and the citrus. I mean, there is fruit in here, but it's just cherry. So there's no other fruit. This is a true cherry filling. And that pastry, that buttery, flaky pie crust pastry note is mwah. It is chef's kiss. I think this is probably the most authentic, most realistic pie crust type note that I have smelled in a very long time, if ever. Like, it is that good, you guys. This is hoard worthy if you like cherry pie. I do enjoy a cherry pie, so this one is right up my alley. Listen, if you're here for the authenticity, you are gonna get it from this one. It is downright perfection. Don't change a thing about it. Just leave it as is. Keep it in the system for all eternity. I want everyone to try this one. If you love gourmand fragrances, obviously, if you're into fresh scents, this is not going to be in your wheelhouse. If you're looking for something aquatic, not going to be in your wheelhouse. But if you are a gourmand lover like I am, you got to try this one out. Strength and throw, solid. I'm going to give the strength solid 7. I'm going to give the throw actually somewhere between like a 7 and an 8. We'll do a 7.5 for now. It definitely traveled from the family room all the way to the front of the house. No problems at all. Like I said, with my initial review of the Bottle Rocket, these two fragrances are blending really well. I think it's because they both have a cherry note, so they're just a great combination, but individually on their own, these fragrances are standouts. And if you're looking for some really authentic, solid performances, at least initially, again, we're gonna burn these a little further before I formally review them. But let me just turn that off. That's my husband, he can wait. But yeah, it's good. Listen, it's good. Let's go ahead and just take an overhead peek here so that you can see what these wicks are doing. So definitely developing some mushroom tops here as well. These are wicks that you are going to want to trim before you do any subsequent burns. Now, I get this question a lot. Sometimes the wicks seem really long when you first get your candles from Kringle. Don't trim the wicks. Just light them and let them kind of level themselves out. Do not trim these wicks prior to the first burn, but you will want to trim these wicks on any subsequent burns. But you can see here, that is a solid wax pool with nice, tall, dancing flames. No complaints. You guys, they knocked it out of the park. If you only try one Kringle candle this summer, I'm gonna say, let it be this one. I really love it. This is good. Good job, Kringle. I'm gonna need some more of this one. It is really, really good. So for what it's worth, it is getting 2 huge, big fat thumbs up for me from the get-go, and I cannot wait to continue to enjoy this one over the summer. All right, there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed this initial first sniffs and initial post-burn reactions video for these new Kringle launches. Again, this launch is happening on Thursday, May 22nd at noon Eastern Standard Time. I will have Kringle linked at the top of the description box. Remember to use my discount code Melanie15 if you don't have any rewards to apply. Save yourself a little bit of money, and I appreciate you guys being here. Subscribe if you are new, give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, share it with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.